Mysta is graduating. And chat, look, I did an entire song and dance about it on Twitter, but I really was not surprised. Like, even a little bit. Like, the only reason I'm surprised was because the leaker Anon specifically mentioned that Shu was going to be next. Oh, well, not. Okay, he didn't mention that Shu was next, but Shu was up there. Like, Mysta was vaguely mentioned, but even if we took away the fact that it was supposed to be Shu, it really should not come as a surprise to a lot of people who actually paid attention to Luxiem's mental health. Luxiem's mental health, not just Mysta, but Luxiem. Like, all of them. Like, the majority of them. I don't know the specifics, but like, everyone else is kind of fucked right now. Because, okay, chat, I want you to realize and understand the grand magnitude, the sheer magnitude of this graduation. And I don't mean to say this in a way as if I'm downplaying prior graduations or that I think every other people's achievements mean less than Mysta's, but this is different. This is different than Nina's graduation. This is different from some of the Waves' graduation from XID. Because, chat, I want you to realize, not Salen, Mysta was literally the reason Luxiem even took off in the Twitter sphere. And consequently resulted in like Luxiem's EN boom. Like, I want you guys to understand that. Like, before Vox became the daddy of the group, Mysta was the one spearheading the direction of the group, whether he knew it or not. He was the most community-engaging member. He was the one that started the Uncle Roger interaction that gave Niji EN the traction and eyes it got. He was at the center of it all, chat. Like, actually. And he's leaving. He's fucking leaving. A Luxiem member is leaving. Literally the group that breathed life into EN male VTubing. I've said this multiple times last year, but Luxiem did for male VTubing what Myth did for EN VTubing as a whole. They are a very important historical group, filled with very historically important figures, regardless if you like them or not, or even if you care. And one of them is leaving. Like, that would be, like, actually, Hololive fans may not understand this, but literally imagine if Kiara was leaving in Myth. Like, that's massive. This is massive. But again, I'm not exactly surprised because Mysta has always seemed like he was the most vulnerable one. You know? Like Vox's mental health is fucked up. And maybe Shu's mental health has taken a toll because of the AR live cancellation. But Mysta always gave me the impression that he was the most how do I say this without being offensive? Like, the most emotionally or mentally weak? Like, you know what I mean, right? Or vulnerable, I guess? Like he was that guy. He was a bit of a Menhera. Vulnerable, unsteady. Okay, yeah, sensitive. Those kinds of words. Yeah. I mean, he was a bit of a Menhera. That's not an insult, by the way. I'm a Menhera, so I know how that feels like. It's not an insult. Dude, imagine having to go through the motion entirely out of obligation for months. Yeah, exactly. I'll talk about that later. Like, he was done for 5 months now. Yeah, he said that he was pretty much fed up, done with streaming and VTubing. He had already planned his graduation since February, but he wanted to finish his obligations and sponsorships and stuff like that, right? Like, I think, like, that passion, that spark was already dying for a long time ago. And he even mentioned this at his 800k celebration stream, that he already achieved the things that he wanted to do. Like, he's disillusioned, I guess is the right term. Yeah, he's disillusioned, I think is the right term for that. Is it a complete total burnout? I don't know, but I know how that feels like. I know what burnout like that feels like. It kind of takes a toll on you, chat. But for Mysta, it's different because he literally has nothing to work for anymore. I want you guys to think about this. I remember when I first started watching Mysta, he wanted to reach 100k subscribers by the end of 2023. He got that within a month. He did everything he wanted to do. But now he's made his money. He's made his friends. He had his fun. All in a year's time. There's nothing in Nijisanji for him anymore, chat. At least nothing that's fulfilling enough to keep him there. Money runs out. It's not, bro. Mista's not getting like, Mista is not running out of money. He was just tired. Who knew that prioritizing your mental health and what makes you happy was the best course of action to do? Because, chat, you have to realize, I said this a while back. He pretty much he doesn't even care about what his fans think, he doesn't care about what his fans think about his content anymore. He wants to make content that makes him happy. And that literally just tells me he's burnt out. He doesn't want to play the monkey in the zoo anymore. He doesn't want to be that person anymore. VTubers are people too? Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to realize, chat, I've said this multiple times, but stuff like this, it's rarely ever about the money. Because when you get that much money, even with the whole 2% thing, Mista's getting a lot of money. Mista's richer than every one of us here combined. So, literally, money is not a problem here. Mista did not leave Nijisanji for monetary reasons. Holy shit. Come on. And, that's a very understandable thing to do. And I imagine, chat, okay, look. And I imagine that the company being so absolutely shit may have helped with that. Like, he even carefully worded. Okay, so I was watching his stream last night, right? So, and he was carefully wording how he was gonna announce it and how the members of Niji-en and how it was the people deserved the best. He was carefully wording his shit, chat. Like, it was so, yeah, literally all you need to know. The fact that he had to be careful about his wording to not throw too much shade at his own agency again, that's a very massive oof for Nijisanji. And even in the past, he's been very vocal about his own unhappiness with the company at times. Like that time he complained about he threw shade at the AR Live cancellation, about the, about the 2% thing, the whole other shit. It's like, Jesus, bro. Niji management strikes again, true. It's like, Nijisanji EN, bro. I think it's I want you guys to understand, Niji JP is actually doing a bit well, comparatively speaking. But Niji EN is not. Niji XID is also not. Like, where did Niji EN go wrong, bro? They had the best year of their life last year. And by the start of the next one, it just started crumbling and crumbling. Bad news after bad news. Members after members leaving left and right. Yab after yab. Drama after drama. Like, that's... Like, how does one snowball that much? Within, like, it's 7 months now. IRC Niji EN was peaceful before Luxium. Even after Luxium, I think. Like, yeah. Even after Luxium, a few months after Luxium, they were very peaceful. The snowball effect when Yugo got axed, true. That was probably the Harbinger moment. You know what the Harbinger moment is? It's like the first sign of multiple dead things to happen. Not dead things. Multiple bad things to happen. It started in Yugo graduating, true. Mm-hmm. But I think that the canon event, the Zion drama, that was 100% the canon event. Bro, Zion? The Zion curse, true. Like, Zion is literally the Jesus Christ of Nijisanji. She died for their sins, came back 3 months later to fuck them in the ass with internal exploitation receipts, and then it just got worse from there. Like, the way Niji EN is imploding right now, I think it could have all been just better if management was just being nice, or at the very least competent to the people. Because, chat, look, VTubing, it's not like Nestle. Like, it's not like Nestle, it's not like physical or cereal companies or any company that makes food or physical products. VTubing is an industry that inherently relies on deep emotional bonding and like parasocial relationships to succeed. Naturally, for a community and industry like that to thrive, the people doing the parasocial relationships, like, the monkeys keeping the zoo visitors entertained. That's an odd comparison, I know, but that's essentially how VTubing works, and you fucking know it. They have to be treated well. They have to be compensated well. It's not like the lowly paid factory workers or the child laborers in China where nobody gives a shit about because they're satisfied with the fact that they make good products. Because in VTubing, the people themselves are the product. The VTubers are the goods. So if someone's Oshi is pissed off at something, the entire community is gonna be pissed off too. Like, that's the reason, like, okay, that's the reason why I'm inherently biased against Nijisanji now and is doubling down on Hololive. At least Hololive members aren't abused. Yes, sir. Like, okay, so, there are the occasional things that they can't help with, or is, like, out of their power. Like, sometimes they are rendered unable to help their talents, sometimes they have to enforce their contracts to make sure that they don't step out of line. But you don't see fucking Hololive members, like, number fagging and pressuring their talents to make more money like what they did to Yugo, right? You don't see the managers disrespect and throw their talents under the bus like Zion, right? You don't see those managers keep their silver and golden play button like what they do to everyone in Niji. You don't see the EN managers punish their talents for the mistakes that they make. Those kind of yabs didn't happen in Hololive in the past year or two. You know, aside from the Rusha drama. Like, back then, again, I've said this in my Nijisanji 1 hour Nijisanji video, but back then, both Hololive and Nijisanji were shit companies back then. But one of them has changed and bettered themselves in lengths that the other still has to catch up to. Nijisanji JP right now is being treated good, I think. But EN, I don't know. EN and ID, oof. Me, okay, I say those things as if I'm like blind or like I'm just clout chasing, I guess, or like riding a wave to insult Nijisanji or whatever because it's what drama tubers do right now. But you have to realize, okay? I'm already defending myself from this kind of response. I defended this fucking company when I felt like it was necessary. Like the whole Gundo Mirai drama. I defended their culture when other tribalistic Hololive fans started being pompous douchebags about it. I advocated for their talents when the tribal wars happened last year. So I don't want any motherfucker telling me I'm a fake Niji EN fan or I'm just calling them out multiple times to clout chase or that I'm concern fagging. Like, I don't want anyone calling me that. Jesus. So, of course I'm gonna be biased against Nijisanji EN. Not at the talents, not at the culture, but at the agency itself. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't have any issues with the talents or the agencies that much. Like, for example, some of them have actually been collecting W's lately. Vox has raised a shit ton of dollars for charity the other week. I forgot when. Like, that's cool. You know? But literally, we can't disregard this as easily as, like, it's not something to be shoved under the table. What's it called? Shoved under the rug? Yeah. Because it's far from the Niji XID, Niji EN. It's far from the place that I want my favorite VTubers to be under. It's Niji EN, Nijisanji as a whole. It's a place where the talents aren't compensated rightfully. Where they punish you for mistakes they make. A place... Okay, here's what I think describes the branch best right now. It's a place where they sell you a dream that they can't make happen. Like, it's funny to me that Hololive has been pumping out nothing but good news the past few months, except the Magni Vesper thing and the Gura thing, but it's wild to me how the differences of the two agencies right now have never been more apparent. Like right now, Holocity is coming up. Towa is getting her first solo live. The girls are in Japan having sex. Kiara, well, no. I was about to say that Kiara is having that like mind-breaking, uterus-busting gay sex with Kali and Reina. Like, you know, Gura is streaming again and actually having a shit ton of projects in order. So, you know, that's good because that means she wasn't gonna graduate as much as a lot of people would think she would, including me. The girls are getting their home 3D. EN3 is coming soon. I'll talk about EN3 later. Like, what the fuck? Hello, EN fans are eating good. And chat, literally last year, during this time, both branches were pumping out good news left and right. In fact, the fans were being tribalistic about it, chat. Like, you know, I hate tribalism. But it's a good problem to have. Because when it comes to agencies like Holo and Niji, that just means that both places are winning. Their fan bases are monkeys trying to argue which one of them is winning harder. Like, that's a good problem to have, right? I would rather have that kind of problem than this one. Because at the very least, that problem was entertaining as fuck. But this is not. None of this is funny. Mysta graduating like this is not funny. Again, unless you're a tribal Hololive fan, I guess, or a Zionist that wanted some vindication, then, I guess watching Niji burn is fun for you. But it's not fun for me, and I assume it's not fun for a shit ton of others who just wants to have fun with their VTubers.